Does Tori Roloff want to go back on television? Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Little people, big world spoilers reveal that Tori Roloff may want to go back to television. Her fans have noticed that she has been dropping hints about it. Little people, big world spoilers reveal that Tori Roloff may want to go back to television. Her fans have noticed that she has been dropping hints about it. She appeared on the show with her husband, Zach Roloff, for years, but they left the show to raise their family. There are rumors that she and Zach are struggling financially too. Let's take a closer look at these rumors and if she does want to go back to television. Little People, Big World aired for 25 seasons on TLC. It was a fan favorite for so long, and viewers got upset with Matt Roloff when he decided to sell the pumpkin farm. Two of his sons put bids on the farm, and he denied them both. This added some tension in the family, and some fans think that this is one of the main reasons that Zach decided to leave the show. Matt seemed to be the only family member who wanted to keep filming, while everyone else wanted to focus on their lives and the lives of their growing children. Tori and Zach wanted to focus on their children and their podcast. Even though Tori and Zach have been working on their podcast, she has started to hint that going back to television could be an option. Tori was asked by some of her fans on social media if she would ever consider going back to television. She told them, "We have said if it was just our family, we'd consider it. However, we really don't think we're interesting enough to carry a show on our own." She added that she would want to do an educational show, not a show about relationships. Of course, her fans were excited when they heard her answer, but it doesn't look like a show is in the very near future. She is enjoying raising her 3 children right now, and being a mom is a full-time job for her. We will keep an eye on Tori and Zach to see if they hint about being on television again. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Little People, Big World right now. Come back here often for Little People, Big World spoilers, news, and updates. Since quitting Little People Big World after season 25, Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff have been working on their podcast, Raising Heights. While there was some interest in it at the start, many show fans have called out the husband and wife for being boring and recycling subjects. In some episodes for the podcast, Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff have let their 3 children take over. As much as viewers do love Jackson, Lila, and Joza, many Little People Big World fans called the husband and wife out for obvious filler for the sake of content. So while people do still tune in, this new podcast venture has received its fair share of hate as well. Based on the latest Little People Big World updates, Tori Roloff recently hinted at a possible return to TV. Tori recently did a Q&A session on social media, which she regularly does. It's a way to keep in touch with fans and keep them updated on a more personal level. When Little People Big World fans asked about a possible return to TV, Tori Roloff said, "We have said if it was just our family, we'd consider it. However, we really don't think we're interesting enough to carry a show on our own." Instagram this week, sparking speculation with a cryptic tease that sent fans of Little People Big World into a frenzy. With a simple post hinting at filming, followers immediately began questioning whether the Roloffs were preparing for a return to TLC. After announcing her family's departure from the long-running series in 2023, Tori's possible change of heart has left many wondering if a new season is in the works, or if the family might be struggling financially in the aftermath of leaving reality TV behind. Her post, featuring what appeared to be behind-the-scenes content and equipment typically used in filming, was captioned with a few playful emojis, but sharp-eyed followers weren't distracted. The lighting rigs, crew-like shadows, and hints of a professional setting immediately signaled something larger than just family vlogging. Fans flooded the comment section with questions like, "Is LPBW coming back?" and "Are you filming again?" fueling the idea that the Roloffs might be stepping back into the limelight. Tori and her husband, Zach, had made headlines when they publicly confirmed their departure from the show after 25 seasons. Their decision came amidst ongoing tension between Zach and his father, Matt Roloff, over the family farm and the direction of the show. At the time, the couple said they were stepping away to focus on their children and enjoy a more private life in Battleground, Washington. But now, with cryptic hints and subtle clues, it appears that the camera crew may not have been gone for long. This isn't the first time fans have speculated about their return. While the family insisted they were done with the franchise, social media has remained a steady platform where Tori continues to share moments from her daily life. From the outside, it looks curated, controlled, and monetized. Classic traits of someone who has learned the value of a camera lens. With more than 1 million followers and multiple sponsorship deals, Tori has managed to transform her family's reality TV fame into a profitable online brand. However, the digital influencer world isn't always enough. Speculation has also been stirred by recent financial rumors. With the cost of living continuing to rise and homeschooling, home renovations, and travel frequently featured on Tori's feed, some fans have questioned whether the Roloffs might be feeling the pressure. Zach no longer has the income from TLC, and while Tori has sponsored content, it's unclear if it rivals what they earned per episode of Little People, Big World. A return to TV could be a solution to dwindling funds, or simply a strategic career move to boost visibility and future partnerships. It's also possible that the family never fully left the TLC orbit. Some suspect that a new spin-off or limited docuseries could be in development, especially with the show's dwindling cast and fans yearning for more authentic storylines. The Roloffs were a major draw for the franchise, and their absence left a noticeable void in the show's dynamic. If the network saw a dip in engagement following their exit, a comeback, even if temporary, could be mutually beneficial. Not everyone is on board with the idea of a return. Some longtime viewers criticized the family for using the show as a cash cow and then acting superior once they'd made their exit. Accusations of hypocrisy have floated online, especially from fans who feel misled by the family's declarations of wanting a quiet life. Critics argue that the Roloffs are simply chasing attention again, re-entering the spotlight for a paycheck, not for authenticity. Others, however, welcome the idea with open arms. Loyal fans have said they miss seeing Tori, Zach, and their children on the screen, praising their down-to-earth personalities and relatability. Social media offers glimpses, but many feel it doesn't compare to the full storytelling power of a TLC series. The potential of catching up with their lives in more depth, particularly their parenting journey and new challenges, could be a big draw for the network and audiences alike. There's also the potential for emotional payoff. With the tension surrounding Matt Roloff's controversial handling of the family farm, fans never saw a full resolution play out. A return to the show could offer closure or even stir up more drama, which, let's face it, TLC thrives on. Whether it's a confrontation, reconciliation, or continued estrangement, viewers would undoubtedly tune in for the fallout. Meanwhile, Tori continues to fan the flames. Whether it's deliberate or unintentional, her social posts often leave just enough ambiguity to keep the rumor mill turning. She hasn't confirmed anything outright, but she hasn't denied it either. That kind of calculated silence is a hallmark of reality stars who know how to keep their audience on edge. Behind the scenes, there are whispers that TLC is eager to rejuvenate its slate of family programming. With several longtime shows losing steam or wrapping up, the network may be turning to its reliable Roloff dynasty for a ratings boost. Whether it's a new iteration of the show, a one-time special, or simply unaired footage from previous seasons, the idea of leveraging Tori and Zach again seems not only possible but likely. If money is a motivating factor, it wouldn't be surprising. Reality TV stars have repeatedly returned to the screen after swearing off the industry, only to be lured back by a lucrative contract. The Roloffs were reportedly earning thousands per episode during their time on Little People, Big World, and even if that number dropped in a reboot or spin-off format, it could still be a considerable supplement to their current income. That said, desperation might be too strong a word. Tori has continued to maintain a brand presence and appears happy in her role as a mom and content creator. But if the opportunity to secure financial stability and maintain relevance came knocking, few could blame them for answering. After all, fame is fleeting, and in the world of influencers, the algorithm doesn't always reward consistency. Sometimes it rewards controversy or comeback. In the end, only time will reveal the full story. Whether this is the start of a new chapter in their television journey or just a one-time nod to their past, the curiosity has certainly been reignited. For TLC fans, the prospect of seeing Tori, Zach, and their kids back on the screen feels nostalgic, exciting, and perhaps just a little bit suspicious. But in the unpredictable world of reality TV, that's exactly what keeps people watching. Amy Roloff rushed to pack her things, throwing clothes into her suitcase while texting her husband Chris and double-checking flight times. She had just gotten the call that her father, 96-year-old Gordon Knight, wasn't doing well. The tone in her family's voice said everything words didn't. She dropped everything and booked a flight back to Michigan. As she posted a brief message on Instagram, she thanked her followers for their prayers and support, keeping the details private but letting them know she needed to be with her dad. Her followers immediately responded with thousands of heartfelt comments, many sharing their own stories of elderly parents, love, and loss. Amy sat quietly on the plane, staring out the window. Her thoughts were racing, but her face was calm. She remembered the last time she'd seen her dad. His hands had looked thinner, and he had walked a little slower, but his mind was sharp, and his spirit was intact. They had talked about everything: her kids, the farm, memories of her mom, old family vacations. Now, she was heading back, unsure what she'd find. The flight seemed to last forever, every minute stretching into the next. She thought about how much her dad meant to her, how he'd always supported her, from her early surgeries to her marriage to Matt and later Chris. He had been her steady rock through everything. Arriving in Michigan, Amy was greeted by her sister at the airport. The two embraced silently, tears welling in their eyes. The drive home was quiet, filled with an unspoken sense of urgency. When they pulled into the driveway, the house looked the same as always, but the energy inside had shifted. Amy stepped into her childhood home, inhaling the familiar scent of old wood, cinnamon, and faint perfume. Her dad was in his recliner in the living room, wrapped in a blanket, dozing lightly. The sight of him so still and small made her chest tighten. She knelt down beside him, whispered his name, and gently touched his hand. His eyes opened slowly, and recognition flashed in them as a soft smile appeared. Amy's tears fell silently. She told him she loved him, that she was there now, and he nodded slightly. For the next several days, she rarely left his side. She brought him water, helped him with his medications, talked with him when he was awake, and sat silently when he drifted off to sleep. She read to him, sometimes from the Bible, sometimes from his favorite poetry. She soaked in every moment. Outside of those moments, Amy stepped into caretaker mode, helping her siblings coordinate meals, update extended family, and manage doctor visits. Her social media remained quiet except for the occasional update, each one filled with gratitude and vulnerability. Fans responded with stories of their own aging parents and how important it was to cherish the time left. Amy's messages resonated deeply with people all over the country. Each day she spent with her dad reminded her of their bond. He had always been the quiet, steady one in the family. While her mom had been more vocal and emotionally expressive, her dad showed his love through action. He built her bookshelves, drove her to appointments, and sent handwritten letters during her early days of filming LPBO. He was proud of her, though he rarely said it aloud. But Amy knew it in the way he smiled when she walked into a room, or the way he told others about her achievements. During the afternoons, when her dad slept, Amy took walks around the neighborhood. She passed by her old school, the park where she and her siblings had played, the church that had been central to their family's life. It felt surreal to be back, so many years later, under such heavy circumstances. She remembered playing in the snow with her dad, building forts in the backyard, and sitting with him at the kitchen table while he read the paper. Those memories came flooding back, vivid and full of life. In the evenings, the family gathered in the living room, sharing stories from the past, looking through photo albums, laughing and crying in equal measure. Her dad sometimes chimed in, his voice soft but clear, offering a dry joke or correcting a timeline. Even in his weakened state, his mind was sharp. Amy found comfort in his clarity and presence. She held his hand often, kissed his forehead, and made sure he knew how loved he was. Chris checked in regularly, sending her texts and calling when he could. He kept everything running back home in Oregon, offering her complete support. He told her to take all the time she needed, to be with her dad, to not worry about anything else. Amy was grateful beyond words. Her kids also reached out constantly, sending her photos, messages, and prayers. Everyone rallied around her during this emotional time. One day, Amy sat on the porch, watching the sun set over the quiet Michigan street. She opened her phone and typed out a longer message to her fans. She thanked them again for their support and explained how being with her dad had reminded her of the simple and powerful importance of presence. She urged everyone reading to call their parents or grandparents, to take the trip they'd been putting off, to say what needed to be said before it was too late. The response was overwhelming. Thousands of people wrote back, many saying they had made that call or planned a visit because of her post. Amy found strength in those responses, even as her dad's health slowly declined. The family brought in additional care support, ensuring he was as comfortable as possible. He remained at home, surrounded by family, love, and the peaceful rhythm of the life he had built. Amy stayed up late at night, sitting beside him, sometimes falling asleep in a chair nearby. Every breath he took felt sacred. Her dad's pastor visited one afternoon, offering a quiet prayer and gentle encouragement. Amy stood nearby, holding her father's hand, tears rolling down her face. Her dad listened, eyes closed, a small smile on his face. He had lived a long, full life. He had served in the military, raised a family, seen his grandchildren grow, and watched his daughter become a public figure who always honored her roots. Days blurred together, time marked by small shifts in her dad's condition. Amy remained focused, holding on to every second. The family talked about funeral plans quietly, not because they were giving up, but because they wanted to be ready when the time came. Amy had made peace with the fact that her father wouldn't live forever, but being there in those final moments gave her a sense of peace. Eventually, the time came for Amy to return to Oregon. Her dad, though frail, encouraged her to go. He told her he loved her, that he was proud of her, and that he would be okay. She cried as she hugged him goodbye, not knowing if she would see him again. She promised she would come back soon, and he nodded. She held onto that promise tightly as she walked away from the house that had shaped her, filled with memories, echoing with the laughter and tears of decades. Back in Oregon, Amy threw herself into work gently, easing back into filming, events, and life on the farm. But something had shifted. She felt a deeper appreciation for each moment, a quieter strength, a greater awareness of how precious time is. She continued to update fans, always thanking them for the continued prayers and sharing occasional reflections on her dad's impact. Amy planned to return to Michigan again soon. No matter what, she would be there, whether to say another goodbye, to help with arrangements, or simply to sit with him in silence. She would make the trip. Her connection to her father was too deep, too essential, to ever let distance win. In the end, love was the legacy he would leave behind. And Amy, strong and present as ever, would carry that love with her